the final tonight. And the best team in baseball wins it all in 2018.
For the first hit. Rutschman into right field. Down the line. A fair ball. Adley will turn first. Head for second. He's going to turn second. Go for third. Rutschman into third base standing. An extra base hit. His first hit in the major leagues. Welcome to the...
These are long pitch innings. I think Blister, that's what you were to make sure.
Here's a high fly ball into right. Back his bat's on the move. On the track. He's got catch by Mookie Betts.
Now, Clifford looking for a clean inning here in the seventh.
Hit well out to right center field. Jones still on the move, running out of room, and he made it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Ballpark. As always, I'm your host, Patrick Morin, alongside Brendan Cunningham. Today, the rankings continue. We're going to have top 10 pitchers, both starting and bullpen arms, on this episode today. So we are coming down the line. We got a little scheduling note, actually. We'll do pitchers today, and then we'll do DHs and the top 10 players in baseball next week, and then we'll do predictions in week 3, right before the season starts. So those are slated to come up next. But first of all, Brendan, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Pretty good. We're here to talk about baseball. Spring training is underway. Quick note, has there been anything that you've seen that you like from the Red Sox or just in general?
Oh, I'm not a big spring training guy. I haven't really noticed anything. Have you?
I mean, I will say Felix Bautista's back, and that's exciting.
It is.
So, he's looking healthy, he's looking good. I like that he's slated for a full return. So yeah, that's really been the highlight for us. I mean, I know you all got Alex Bregman, so
Yeah, I mean, new pickup. He's been pretty good, so we'll take that out of him. It's a bright spot.
yeah, absolutely. And I can imagine that Garrett Crochet's been a fun watch too.
Yep. The new additions are really shining. I hope it continues in the regular season, though. That's the important part.
Yeah, I mean Red Sox are much improved this year, but regardless, let's get into the top 10 rankings. We'll go starting pitchers first, right? We'll go starters.
That sounds all right.
Okay. Number 10. I had Logan Gilbert at number 10, Seattle Mariners.
I had Jacob deGrom.
Okay, all right. I know we were talking about that before the episode.
Yeah, you convinced me to put him in there. I
Okay.
had to give credit to him. So I put him number 10.
Mhm.
It's basically just for potential if he stays healthy and respect. Because we know what Jacob deGrom is.
Yeah,
Cy Young candidate.
I think we all know the Jacob deGrom story. He's a Cy Young when healthy. It's just when can he stay healthy? And that's really sad because you then look at what could have been. So anyway, Logan Gilbert for me, like I will say, when I was making this list, I thought I was gonna have Jacob deGrom in here, and then I didn't have Jacob deGrom in here. So, but I have Logan Gilbert as my number 10. I think Logan Gilbert had a fantastic season last year. Obviously, he's part of a very strong Seattle rotation. He put up a 3.23 ERA last year. He only went 9-12, but that's an indictment on the Mariners' offense rather than his abilities. He pitched 208 and 2/3 innings. He had 220 strikeouts in 28 starts. That's Jack Flaherty. He had 33 starts. My bad. 22 of those were quality starts, which is amazing. So yeah, I mean, Logan Gilbert's that guy. I mean, I think he's probably the ace. I think he's the most well-rounded out of all the pitchers. I mean, Castillo's not getting any younger. Kirby, like, what's the ceiling? Even though his stuff is so good. Same with like a Bryce Miller and his array of pitches. Brian Woo's not healthy a whole lot. So yeah, I mean Logan Gilbert is fantastic, and I thought he deserved to be in my top 10.
It's definitely a good mention. Sorry, now I didn't include him, but definitely, was a borderline guy in his top 10.
hmm
What about number 9? What'd you have?
Number 9, I had Garrett Crochet.
Oh, I had Garrett Cole.
This is stacked list, I will say.
Yeah.
I'll start with Crochet. Yeah, I mean Garrett Crochet, like he's amazing. He's just so talented. He switched to let me try and find his page here. He switched to being a starter this year in 2024. He kind of had that chance because he was on the Chicago White Sox. There was like no risk of, him getting hurt or whatever, and just kind of pitching in a free environment. I mean, it's the worst team in baseball history. But Garrett Crochet was unbelievable. I mean, he had 3.58 ERA in 146 innings, 209 strikeouts, 1.068 WHIP. He had 32 starts. So he got all of his starts in, but he's obviously limited in the second half of 2024. He didn't get dealt, and he didn't get an extension. So unfortunately, he was still stuck on the Chicago White Sox at that point, and he was only pitching like 3 or 4 innings to start. But he's unbelievable. It's unbelievable talent. It's electric stuff. It's a Chris Sale idea, and I'm sure he'll be looking at an extension for Boston, and that's a fantastic picker for them.
Yeah, hopefully we can see the same production here. So I had Garrett Cole, another Garrett. I just kind of, he was injured this year. So I just kind of give credit to what he had last year. I know I'm not a biggest Garrett Cole guy. I think he's kind of a jerk. I'm not a big fan of him. I just kind of hate him. But you do have to see, like last year, he's like one of the best pitchers in baseball, and he's kind of been the past few years. I know he didn't play a lot this year, and he wasn't that good. But I'm giving credit to what we've seen. Maybe knock him down a few just because I'm a little biased. I don't really like Garrett Cole at all. But I had to put him in here somewhere.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I mean, Garrett Cole's not super likable, so but I'll talk about him a little bit later on my list. Number 8. Who did you have at number 8?
I had Dylan Cease.
Oh, Dylan Cease. Okay. I like that shout.
Yeah.
He's
What about you?
probably just missed for me on Dylan Cease. I had Chris Sale at number 8.
Oh,
NL Cy Young. He could have been higher for me, except like he's old, and I'm a little concerned. Do you want to go into Cease, or do you want me to go into Sale?
I want to hear what you have to say about Sale. This is interesting.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, Chris Sale had a fantastic season last year. I mean, he kind of ran out of gas at the end. He only made 29 starts. 18 of them were quality starts, and he threw 177 in 2/3 innings. He had 225 punch-outs, 11.4 Ks per 9. I'll try and mention that from here on out, as Logan Gilbert had 9.5, so that's still pretty good, even though it's kind of a lower mark. 6.2 WAR, 1.01 WHIP, and he was amazing. I mean, we didn't really expect anything from Chris Sale in 2024. The Braves just kind of got him. They gave him this small extension, and they traded for him from the Red Sox, and he turned into Cy Young season. That's honestly like objectively like that's really good just for Chris Sale's sake, and the amount of injuries that guy has dealt with. For him to have a year like this is, you feel good for the guy. I know he's not the most likable guy, but always root for someone who has had injury history. So yeah, I mean, Chris Sale I think could have definitely been higher, except he's old, and Father Time could catch him in the butt.
Yeah, he's definitely, you don't know what you're going to get seeing what he's done in the past, especially in Boston. So for mine, Dylan Cease, ceased to exist. I think he had a great year. He put up a 3.47 ERA in 33 games, 224 strikeouts, a WHIP of 1.067. Strikeout per nine of 10.6. Very good numbers from him. He came in fourth in Cy Young voting. Um, gosh, the strikeout is obviously the highlight there. 189 innings. He got 224. I think Sale had 225 or something. So he was just behind Sale, in those stats. So I think it's something impressive. I just think I know he maybe be a little higher with these numbers. I think last year I just had to take a hit as he wasn't as good last year, but definitely years like 2022 he was also this good. So I think Dylan Cease, he's been doing it a little while. He's been a little spotty, but I think when he's on, he's like one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's a bit of a roller coaster, but the peaks are really good, and that's what gets him in these conversations. Number 7. Number 7 for me, another hurt guy, Spencer Strider coming in.
Just Strider, I didn't have such a Strider in my list.
I know. I asked you about the hurt guys, and I was trying to not forget anyone.
Huh, I forgot him. Well, I had Cole Reagans.
Okay,
Kansas
yeah.
City Royals. You want to go first?
I'll go first, yeah. So Spencer Strider obviously was hurt most of last year, and he only pitched 9 innings total. Didn't really get to see a whole lot of him, but in his career he has been fantastic. He's kind of got that fastballs, nasty like high heat fastball with that devastating slider. Just his ability to rip those 2 pitches has led him to be one of the better arms in the game. And it's just important to remember that even though he was hurt, that he's still a really good arm. And in his career he's got 32 wins in 329 and 2/3 innings pitched, 495 strikeouts, 1.071 WHIP, 54 starts in his career. I believe he had internal brace, so I think he'll be kind of fine. He'll be better off than a guy coming back from Tommy John, even though it's still tough to come back from an injury like that. So, but Spencer Strider, you got to remember the peaks, and he's another guy where the peaks are insane. It's kind of a Dylan Cease type of idea where when he's off, it's not good, but when he's on, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely similar to Dylan Cease. And he could have been in my top 10. I just think injury had to do it for me. So for my number 7, Cole Reagans, the Kansas City Royals, kind of came out of nowhere and just put up an All-Star season, put up a 3.14 ERA, 186.1 innings, 223 strikeouts, WHIP of 1.143, led the American League in strikeouts per 9. He was an all-star, like I said. He came in fourth in Cy Young voting. So impressive stuff out of Cole Reagans. He was sitting behind Seth Lugo. Maybe he's better than Seth Lugo. That's an argument to have. Who's better there? But definitely, a really nice season, Cole Reagans. You love to see the strikeout number. He's striking a lot of guys out. ERA's low. Everything good about Cole Reagans. What you want to see, and a really nice pickup. The Royals got.
Yeah, for sure. Number 6 on the list, I had Blake Snell.
I also had Blake Snell.
Nice match. There we go. Is Blake Snell on here? Did he pitch enough innings?
I think so.
No, he didn't. I don't think so. I gotta pull up the reference page. Do you want to talk about why you have Blake Snell at 6?
I feel like this is mentioned again. This is another guy where when he's on, he's a Cy Young candidate, if not Cy Young winner. But when he's injured, which just happens a lot, and not playing, he's not. He's still good, but he's not what we want out of Blake Snell. So I think if he can stay healthy, he's an argument for number 1. So just keep him down to number 6, just because he can't kind of stay on the field, is tough. But this is scary for the Dodgers if they get him when he's healthy.
I agree. I think part of it last year was that He had the late start to spring training. Like he got the contract late, being a
Yeah.
Scott Boras client, and he kind of had to get himself right a little bit. But when he got on track, he looked unbelievable. Uh, so he started 20 games last year at 3.12 ERA, 145 strikeouts and 104 innings, 1.048 WHIP. He can kind of get up there and walks a little bit, and that can be concerning at times, and that's what can limit him in his just potential. But regardless, he's an unbelievable arm. He's a two-time Cy Young Award winner, and that's it's just a great move for the Dodgers. They just built a just Thanos level rotation, and that features Blake Snow.
Yeah, absolutely. So moving on to our top five, getting into it now. I have newly acquired Arizona Diamondback Corbin Burns.
I have a guy you already mentioned, Garrett Cole.
Oh, okay. Um, I'll go first. Talk about Corbin Burns.
Okay.
This is a guy he's been, feels like top 10 in Cy Young for years now. And, he's always been talked about as best pitcher in baseball. He's always in that conversation. Um, you know, I think he's definitely been the best pitcher over the past maybe 5 years. He's been the best, but we're talking now. 2024 for him was good. He put up a 2.92 ERA, 194 innings, 181 strikeouts, a whip of 1.096. So good numbers. Strikeouts a little down, not kind of what you see, but still, he put up a great season for Baltimore. Still very valuable, and I think deserves top five.
So I had Garrett Cole. You did not have Garrett Cole in your top five. Garrett Cole, I mean, another guy. You got to remember that he is one of the best pitchers in baseball at his peak, if not the best pitcher in baseball. He was hurt last year. He only started 17 games. He only had 95 innings, but he had 99 strikeouts, a 1.126 WHIP, a 3.41 ERA in those innings. Obviously, he didn't end the season on the note he wanted to, with the gaff in the fifth inning of the World Series Game 5. But, I mean, Garrett Cole, I still got to respect the fact that he is a premier arm in this game. He was a Cy Young Award winner in 2023 for a reason. And I know he's dealing with some issues now, so that's also a little bit concerning, but he still absolutely deserves top five. He's worked for that his whole career, and at his worst, this is a guy who's still hanging around the top five. So just had to put him here.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I just hate him too much. I can't put him in top five. All right. So number 4, who do you have?
Another guy you already mentioned, Corbin Burns, is my number 4. You just talked about him.
All right, yeah, close on that one. I also guy you already mentioned, Chris Sale.
Wow.
You want to talk about the former Corbin Burns?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a little bit more personal for me to talk about Corbin Burns. Watching Corbin Burns every fifth day is special. I mean, he's just a guy where it's going to be good. He has that cutter, which is just amazing. The strikeout numbers were going down, in 2023 and 2024, but I think that was kind of his goal. He wanted to be more durable, didn't want to throw as hard, and, just wanted to be efficient through starts. And, it was a blessing to have him in Baltimore for one season. I never took it for granted. He gave it everything he had, and, we just ultimately lost out because he's human. He wanted to go back to Arizona, be with his family, and you can't compete with that. You can't compete with personal feelings. So, Corbin Burns, I wish him all the best in Arizona. It was awesome seeing him pitch in the orange and black. And, he's still an incredible pitcher. I mean, that's arguably the best move of the offseason. That was something that the Diamondbacks didn't necessarily need, and they just improved their rotation even more. And now it just looks like a horse, and it looks like it can compete with the Los Angeles Dodgers. So, but yeah, I mean, he's fantastic in every way, and I hope Diamondbacks fans can appreciate him. Even if he's not giving you all the strikeouts in the world, this is an arm where he's probably going to be healthy throughout the full season, and he's going to leave it all out there. He's a heck of a competitor.
Yeah, definitely one of the premier arms in the game. So I'll talk about Chris Sale. I thought I was being a little harsh to Chris Sale after being maybe the best pitcher in baseball this past season. But I guess I was more generous. I had to put him in 4. You talked about the numbers earlier. I think it was a great year, Chris Sale. And it's kind of something we've been missing. Um, it was kind of like the White Sox days. Back when he was Cy Young candidate then. Now he won it this time. So I guess it's cool to see a Chris Sale. I don't know. It's hard for me after he was, such a problem for the Red Sox, and a few years ago, and last year, and the year before that, there were a lot of problems with Chris Sale and the Red Sox. So it's hard to, root for him now. But I can respect that he had a great season. Showed that he still has some talent in him, and maybe he can do it again this year.
Yeah, that's interesting. Valuing Chris Sale differently, especially from coming from a former Red Sox fan, had to
Yeah, I thought I was being
deal with it.
harsh. I thought he was like number 2 on most people's lists, but I guess not.
Yeah, it's really just the injury thing for me. I'm concerned about how he's going to hold up with just the age and the track record, all that kind of stuff. Number 3, top 3. I think the top 3 is easy to and definitive. For me, I had Zach Wheeler number 3.
I had the same thing.
Okay, I mean, I meant to say that the players in the top 3 are definitive, and the order is whatever you want to make it. Zach Wheeler, horse, ox on the mound. He's been that way his whole career with the Phillies. He posted a 2.57 ERA in 200 innings on the dot, 16-7, 224 strikeouts, 10.1 Ks per 9, 0.96 WHIP. I mean, this guy, he does everything you want. He's durable. He gets those outs. He's an incredible pitcher in the postseason, and this is just a complete pitcher. It's a complete pitcher. He had 32 starts, and 26 of them were quality starts. That is what you want out of your ace. This is just, it's the complete package, and the fact that he's a number 3 is actually kind of crazy.
I mean, yeah, just a premier pitcher. Very good numbers, like you said. It's just we're in the presence of a lot of good pitching right now. I feel like, Zach Wheeler number 3 feels outrageous, because he has number 1 stuff. Like you said, he's just a horse in the mound. He works for everything. It's just what you want out of your ace. And he is. You look at the age; he is a little older now. But he's still top 3 in the league. I mean, he's just so good on the mound. Definitely deserves respect.
I agree. Number 2.
Right.
This is going to be the make or break for the top 3. Number 2 for me, Tarek Skubal.
Oh, we matched.
Nice. There we go. Top 3.
This is crazy.
I did Wheeler, so you can do Skubal.
Yeah, I'll talk about Skubal. I'll get his numbers up. It's crazy that he's not number 1 after the season just had. And he makes a really good argument with after putting up a 6.3 WAR, 2.39 ERA, 228 strikeouts, led the league in strikeouts. He had 192 innings, WHIP of 0.922, strikeouts per 9, 10.7, just really good numbers. Strikeouts to walk ratio of 6.51. Across the board, he just had outstanding numbers. He won 18 games, led the league in wins, if you care about that. Just pure dominance from Tarek Skubal. He won the Cy Young, All-Star, 7th in MVP. Really good season. It's really tough not to put him number 1. He should get it. He deserves it. ERA plus of 170. I mentioned that. Just every number, a lot of numbers he led in the league with. So Tarek Skubal, without a doubt, is worthy of number 1. But I just think we thought the same thing here.
Yeah, I mean, Tarek Skubal, another guy like just competitor. I mean, we saw what he did in the postseason, just carrying the Tigers as much as he could, putting up, the starts that he was putting up. I mean, he tossed a gem against the Astros in the wild card, and that helped them, eliminate the Astros. And another few good starts against the Guardians, and Tarek Skubal, incredible season. I mean, he brings everything at you from the left side. Kind of crazy that he was the wins leader on the Detroit Tigers. I just remembered when you said the wins thing. Him and Chris Hill, both triple crown winners as Cy Young winners.
Really?
I forgot about that. Yeah, they won the triple crown in their respective leagues.
That's so impressive.
That is that's but yeah, I mean Tarek Skubal, like he brings the energy, brings the heat, and you'd be hard pressed to find a better arm in the game, but unfortunately you can. And we're going to talk about him right now. I would hope that we have the same guy number one.
Yeah. Do you have Paul Skeens?
Paul Skeens, number one.
Yeah. You want to talk about it?
It's pretty straightforward. Paul Skeens. I mean, what is there to say? I mean, Paul Skeens is arguably the perfect pitcher. Arguably the perfect pitcher. I mean, he had a 6-WAR season in 2024 as a pitcher, wasn't even on the opening day roster. He went 11-3, a 1.96 ERA, 23 starts, 133 innings, 170 strikeouts, a .947 WHIP. I mean, this dude, number one overall pick out of LSU, was amazing there. And, then, he gets up to the Pirates. He wins Rookie of the Year. He starts the All-Star game. This dude's on fire in, just his career. And it's crazy what he's been able to do so far up to this point. And it's going to be incredible to see what he does beyond 2024. And it's 100 miles an hour fastball, slider, splinker, whatever you want to call it. He's got everything. He's got everything you want in a pitcher. This is the pitcher you build in a lab.
I mean, didn't you get like 2 new pitches?
He might have. Yeah,
Quarter-
honestly, I think he did in spring training.
I think he's got like he's got a cutter and a 2-seam now. Apparently, he's working on that in spring training. I mean, we are in the presence of greatness here.
Yes.
This is, if you want to see an all-time great when he's young, this is it right here. He's gonna
Yep.
go down as one of the best pitchers in baseball. I mean, he's already number one after his rookie season. I mean, when has that ever happened? He's
Yep.
number one. I mean, it's just the stuff is all there. Anything you want, he can do. I mean, I put him against anybody in the batter's box, and he can strike him out. He can get him out. He only didn't win the Cy Young because he just didn't play enough because he was a rookie and he got called up too late.
Yep.
Because he was drafted. So it's just I think he's gonna win the Cy Young this year. He's gonna be the best pitcher in baseball again this year. He's too good not to. His stuff is too good. He's throwing too hard. His stuff, it moves too much. He's too good not to get it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to find some of his records because I don't remember. I know he was setting records last year. He set the SEC single season strikeout record. Hold on, I think I have it in a magazine here actually.
Did you mention he started the All-Star game?
I did. He started the All-Star game in tech as a rookie.
As a rookie.
As a rookie, it's crazy. Let me look. I know I was just reading an article on Paul Skeens, and I know I can find this somewhere if you give me a minute. He's topping ERA plus by pitchers 22 years or younger since 1947. I mean, he's up there with Dwight Gooden, Francisco Liriano, Vita Blue, Mark Pryor, Jose Fernandez, Mike Soroka, who's not that good anymore, but that's okay. Jim Nash, Sam McDowell, and Mark Fidrich. I mean, he's up there with all-time rookie pitchers. Whether they had great careers or not, like Paul Skeens is that guy,
He's only 22.
and he's only 22. I will say, passes the eye test.
What?
He just passes the eye test.
What does that mean?
You watch him and you just know. You don't even have to look at the stats.
You do. Yeah, you do actually.
Yeah. You just watch him. You just look at him and you know.
Pirates did not miss with this pick. A lot of
No.
people were talking about where to go with Dylan Cruz. I think they made the right move though.
Yeah. I think they did. Crazy enough. So we'll go on to relievers now. All my relievers are on this list. Oh, I have one reliever that was hurt last year. So we'll move on to relievers now. All right, number 10 on the reliever list. Who did you have?
I had Edwin Diaz.
Oh, wow. I had Edwin Diaz.
Oh,
Wow. I did not expect that.
I didn't expect that either. Coming out of nowhere.
So why did you have Edwin Diaz at 10?
I guess it's just thinking about what he can do when he's at his best. I know 2022. I mean, was one of the best reliever seasons ever. I mean, just 1.31 ERA. Everyone remembers that 2022 Edwin Diaz CN with the song. I forget the name. But
Trumpet Boy.
that was like, that was iconic.
Hmm.
And then he got injured, celebrating. So he didn't play 2023. Then 2024, he wasn't as good. But I'm just thinking if he can get back to that 2022, then we're gonna regret not having him in the top 10 because he has it. We know he can do it. And I think he can. He's still a top 10 reliever in the game, no matter closer in the game. Even if he didn't have a great season last year.
True, absolutely true. It's another kind of roller coaster guy. I mean, he had a 3.52 ERA and 20 saves, 84 strikeouts, 53 and 2/3 innings. I mean, it's not perfect by any means, but he's still fantastic at his peak. It seemed like he figured something out, just kind of being rejuvenated by the Mets' competitiveness, which is nice. And I think he'll have a good year in 2025. I don't know if he'll reach the peaks he did in 2022, but I hope so. And I think he could get close to that. So.
For sure. All right. Who'd you have number 9?
Number 9 for me was Rizal Iglesias.
Okay, we're 2 for 2.
Wow, 2 for 2?
Yeah, I
Dang.
Iglesias.
Wow. Okay. So Rizal Iglesias, I mean, it kind of goes under the radar. It feels like it almost never feels like you hear anyone talking about Rizal Iglesias and how good he is, but he's amazing. I mean, he had 66 games, he had a 1.95 ERA in 69 innings, 69 in the third, 34 saves. He went 6-2, punched out 68. I mean, I know he's kind of expensive with contract, but he's still really good, and he's definitely on the older side as well. So that can kind of hurt him in some aspects, but this is a closer right here. He's a veteran closer. He knows what he's doing. He had a .74 whip, which is insane. So, yeah, I mean, Rizal Iglesias, they got him for nothing from the Angels because it's like the Angels, and he's great. He's a great reliever.
I mean, arguably put up his best season of his career. With a 2.9 WAR, highest of his career. So definitely, he's 34, but he still got it. I mean, Rizal Iglesias just continues to show he's valuable and worth that trade like you talked about. All right, number 8. Do we hit on this too? Who'd you have?
See, Josh Hader.
No, Jeff Hoffman.
Oh, Jeff Hoffman. I didn't include Jeff Hoffman.
I had to include Josh Hader.
Okay, trade off.
Yeah. All right.
I just did Rizal, so you can do Hoffman.
Yeah, I'll talk about Hoffman. So following last year, another great year. He had a 2.17 ERA, 68 games, 66.1 inning played. His WHIP was 0.965. Was an All-Star. He put how many strikeouts? 89 strikeouts, which is pretty impressive from him at reliever. So to have that, and that's very good numbers. Strikeout per nine, 12.1. So like I talked about, big strikeout guy. He's first All-Star game of his appearance of his career this year. A 31-8 season. He put together. I mean, after last year with the Phillies, he was also good. So coming from Cincinnati to the Phillies, he's just been good for the Phillies. Out of the pen, I think definitely deserves number 8 spot here.
Yeah, I mean, Hoffman certainly got a case, but I will say, interestingly enough, failed 2 physicals, so I have to keep an eye on that
Oh,
into 2025. It fell through with the Braves, a deal, and it fell through with the Orioles, and he eventually had to settle for Toronto. So, again, something to keep an eye out for. Josh Hader, for me, like, I felt like Josh Hader he had to be included. One of those respect type of guys, pitched in 71 games, 71 innings exactly, 3.8 ERA. I know the struggles were definitely there early. He did have 34 saves in those 71 innings, 105 strikeouts, .96 WHIP. I mean, Josh Hader's still amazing. I mean, it's kind of tough in the reliever position to just stay relevant a little bit because it's so volatile and it can just be so fluid. But Hader, I feel like, has earned that right, and I would have felt bad leaving him off, so I put Josh Hader in here, and I still think he's up there in terms of talent.
oh, sorry, I was muted there. Um, Josh Hader, he's been up here a while for sure. I mean, he's definitely been in conversations about one of the best relievers in the game for a while now. His numbers were good. I just think that it was a little too high for me. I had to knock him off at a top 10 for me, but still very good. All right, number 7. Who'd you have?
My number 7 was Tanner Scott.
I had Felix Bautista.
Wow. Okay.
I'm just saying. You want to talk about Tanner Scott?
Sure. Yeah. Tanner Scott. He's fantastic. Again, I mean, we can talk about for days how a lot of these relievers are just nasty. um, but Tanner he's that guy. I mean, he got paid by the Dodgers. I think it was like what, 4 years, $72 million, and he split his year between Miami and San Diego. He joined a super pen in San Diego. He had 22 saves, 1.75 ERA in 72 innings. He went 9-6. He racked up 84 strikeouts in those 72 innings and 1.13 WHIP, 36 walks. I mean, it's good to see that he has the control and he has the walks under control a little bit. Just because seeing him in Baltimore early in his career, like you could see that he was really good, except he had no like command. So he's kind of been able to hone that in, and now he's going to the Dodgers where he can be optimized even more. So that's scary. He's talk about super teams. Like, yeah, it's Dodgers are just it's unfair. They got like an all-star team, and Tanner Scott's amazing. He's joining the Dodgers, and he's going to be in the back end of that bullpen along with Michael Kopech and what's his name, Kirby Yates, and that's like a cheat code.
Yeah, it's too good. All right. Felix Bautista, my number 7. It might be a little low for you. I know I mean, what do you call him? The Mountain? That's his nickname.
The Mountain, yes, he's the Mountain.
6'8", 285, just a beast.
Just for context,
Um,
he had a bobblehead giveaway. It was right after he got hurt, and his bobblehead is literally like bigger than the average size of a bobblehead the Orioles give away.
I mean, it should be when you're that big. Just a
Yes.
lot of person.
Yeah.
So, big thing with Bautista is he didn't play in 2024. He was injured, but 2023 and even 2022, he's one of the best relievers in the game. He can't. I think he won what's it called, the Cy Young Award in 2023. So it's good. Still, we know what Felix Bautista can do. I just feel like I had to knock him a little bit because you never know relievers, and especially getting injured after a year. Um, it's tough to keep you there. So I gave respect to number 7, just because he is so good when he's healthy. But with a position like you said that's so fluid, and after missing a year, you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. So number 6. We're on number 6 now. I had Joe Duran at number 6.
At Kirby Yates,
Oh, wow. I didn't include Kirby Yates.
I didn't include Duran.
Yeah, this is this thing with the relievers. It's very subjective.
Yeah, it's extremely.
Yeah.
So I'll talk about Kirby Yates.
All right.
So Kirby Yates, I think had a great year. We just talked about how he's coming to Dodgers. I'll give you his numbers. He had 3.3 WAR, 1.17 ERA, 61.2 innings played, struck out 85 batters, a WHIP of 0.827. Came in 8th in Cy Young voting, so that's pretty impressive out of him. Strikeout per 9, 12.4, so he's striking guys out. The ERA is low. I think he's just kind of what you want in a reliever. I think he was pretty high in the saves list too. He had 33 saves, so that's pretty impressive at him. He was second all MLB team at relievers, so that's also something impressive. I just think it's scary for the Dodgers to have this guy in the bullpen after they just picked him up from Texas. He is 37 years old, so maybe we're not going to see the kind of production that we saw last year, but I still think he can put up a good season. Maybe not as good, but similar to what we saw in 2024 for the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Joe Duran. I mean, Joe Duran, another guy. This stuff is just crazy. He had a 3.64 ERA, 23 saves in 54 innings, I believe, right around there. Yeah, 54 and a third. He was another guy that was a little bit hurt and was kind of dealing with some stuff, but he had 10.9 strikeouts per 9, 1.16 WHIP. He's got that fastball splinker combo. He's got some crazy stuff. He was a top prospect as a pitcher for the stuff, and it never really worked out as a starter, and they just made him a closer, and he's one of the premier closers in the game. It's electric, and I don't know how you touch it.
Yeah, he's definitely got some killer stuff. All right, moving on to number 4. Who'd you have?
My number 4 is Devin Williams.
Ooh. All right. I had Nate Smith. Wait, no, we're number 5. We're number 5.
Oh, 5. My bad.
My mistake. Who's
Okay.
your number 5?
Number 5 is Ryan Helsley for me.
I had Kate Smith number 5. Yeah, I got it mixed up.
Okay.
All right, you want to talk about your guy?
Yeah. Ryan Helsley led the league in saves last year, 49. I mean, he's amazing. Do you think he gets dealt? Just on a side note.
Yes, he's too good to stay on that team. He's got to go somewhere.
And then where do you think he goes?
Gosh, who needs pitching? Do you have an idea?
On a podcast a baseball podcast that I listen to normally, they like the Texas idea.
Texas, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always say the Yankees. I know they just got
They got Devin Williams though.
They do, but good teams always need more bullpen.
Yeah.
That's definitely something that comes important come playoff time.
I would say Cubs too, but they just got Ryan Presley.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. What about D-backs?
To get more pitching, that'd be
Yeah. Lockdown closer.
okay. Yeah, I
D-backs
guess
are fun.
that works.
It's not like they
Mm,
have many guys that are going to impact the major league roster, although teams could probably beat them out in offers. Anyway, Ryan Helsley in 66 and 1/3 innings. He had a 10.7 K per nine, 1.10 whip in 65 games. It was a 2.04 ERA, 7-4 on the regular season. I mean, this guy's amazing. Like it's kind of a guy that goes under the radar because it's not like super sexy, but throws 100. You know, he's got it as a closer. You know, the stuff is nasty, and I hope he can go somewhere where he can compete as rather than toiling away with St. Louis, who's kind of stuck in purgatory.
yeah, definitely want to see him get out of there and get pitching in October. So I'll talk about Cade Smith now. In 2024, his rookie season, he came in fifth in the Rookie of the Year, ninth in Cy Young. So obviously impressive numbers. I'll read them to you now. In 74 games and 75.1 innings, he had an ERA 1.91, 103 strikeouts, WHIP was 0.903, strikeout rate at 12.3. So very good numbers. He is a rookie, so I had to give a little, maybe not keep him as high as he maybe could be. I know I'm saying that after putting Paul Skeens at number one, but that's Paul Skeens. So, Cade Smith, definitely very good player. I'm sure he can rise after this season if he keeps the production we're seeing. After he just kind of gets more credibility, I can put him higher. He's just great in this, Cleveland bullpen with another guy I think we're going to mention later.
Yeah, I mean that's a great shout. I mean, I know my list is all closers, but if you're looking at relievers as a whole, like he's up there. So number 4, I already said my number 4 because I skipped over number 5, Devin Williams, the Airbender.
Yeah. My number 4, I had Mason Miller.
Okay. Okay, I'm starting to see that it's probably gonna be set back because of my number or my top of the list. Yeah. So Devin Williams, I mean, he's got the Airbender changeup that the Yankees have acquired, and it's gonna look nasty for the Yankees, and it's not gonna be fun as a Yankee and a Red Sox fan, or as an Oriole and Red Sox fan. So we certainly gotta watch out.
Yeah.
Although crazy enough, the Brewers aren't gonna feel it because they're the Brewers, and they're gonna like produce relievers like it's their job because it is. 1.25 ERA in 22 games. He had 14 saves, 21 and 2/3 innings pitched. He was hurt, but he had a 15.8 K per nine, 0.97 WHIP. This guy, we know what he is at his peak. The changeup just defies gravity. It feels like, he's gonna be locking down games for the New York Yankees. So it's gonna be hell. You don't want to be going down one into the top of the ninth.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough playing this guy. How many times we play each other this year, which is all the time. So that's not gonna be good. He's gonna be a problem in those ninth innings when we're trying to get back. 'Cause he's gonna probably shut us down. So Mason Miller, you're one of the few bright spots. I mean, actually starting to get a few bright spots now, not in Sacramento, which is kind of crazy. After they leave, they start getting a little better. Mason Miller had a great year. In 2024, he was an All-Star rookie of the year, came in fourth. So another rookie. He put up a 2.49 ERA in 55 games, 65 innings, 104 strikeouts. A whip was 0.877. Just, great strikeout numbers. He's definitely at 26 years old. He's a real young, good player for this A's team that is kind of looking to come back and after with this young team and maybe compete a little. So he's definitely a really good piece out of that bullpen for them.
For sure. Number 3 now. I have Mason Miller at number 3.
There you go. I had Ryan Easley.
Okay. Oh, all
Two
right.
guys already
So,
mentioned.
yeah, I already mentioned Ryan Helsley. You just talked about Mason Miller. It's like you said. I mean, he's a bright spot in a world of darkness in Oakland / Sacramento. I mean, he's another guy where he's pumping over 100, and this guy is just stuff to be a starter, but he's just had so much injury trouble that he's shifted to a reliever role, and it seems like it's going pretty well for him. He racked up 28 saves, he had 104 punch-outs, .88 WHIP, which is kind of crazy. I mean, he's a guy he's young, and the sky's the limit. So he also had trade rumors floating around him, so that's kind of wild. I think that was like back in 23 or 4, might have actually been this past season. So yeah, I mean he's incredible. He's an incredible talent, and this is a guy that the A's should hold on to while they're kind of in limbo.
I mean, it's just a great young player. Definitely a piece they shouldn't trade. So you talked about Helsley before. Just kind of mentioned again. Obviously, we know what you're getting. You led the league in saves. I think you mentioned that he's throwing 100. He's just got great stuff. And he really should get out of St. Louis. It's kind of a crime to keep him there after he's so good, and you really kind of got rid of everybody else. I don't know why you keep him if you're just trying to lose games. So they could definitely get a good package from a contender because he's worth it if he keeps throwing like this.
Yeah. Number 2, this is kind of gonna sound wild. This is gonna be bold. But I
Are you?
Felix Bautista, number 2.
Oh, all right. That's bold.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
Who is at number 2 for you? I'm assuming it's Devin Williams.
It is Devin Williams.
Okay. So yeah, I mean Felix Bautista, it's bold that I have him at number 2. I forgot to pull up the baseball reference page. But he is, I mean, this was a guy that I thought could have been the Cy Young in 2023 before he went down. I have no words. I mean, it's amazing what he can do on a mound. He had some insane numbers back in 2023. He was 8-2. This was a guy who could go multiple innings out of the bullpen, pick up those 2-inning saves. He had 110 strikeouts in 61 innings. His ERA plus, it's 2.77, meaning he's, I think, 177% better than league average. I mean, this is 1.88 FIP. He had a 1.48 ERA. I mean, did he get Cy Young votes? He did. He finished 11th in Cy Young. 16.2 strikeouts per 9 is diabolical for a reliever. I mean, he's got that fastball at the top. He's got that downer sinker that just falls off a table. I don't know how you hit it if you're a hitter, coming at that arm slot just over the top, coming from the sky. And, that big body on the mound, it's intimidating. Ultimate closer.
And that's bold after coming off an injury year.
Coming off injury, yeah.
But it's not ridiculous considering what we've seen out of him. He definitely could be after season number 2. If we see the kind of production we saw. So going back to Devin Williams, and you talked about him earlier. I just think he's been too good for too long. He's been doing it for a couple of years now, and we know what Devin Williams is. Like you said, the Aaron Bender. It's scary that the Yankees have him. It feels wrong on a Yankee number 2, but he really has been that good. For the Brewers, shame they don't have him anymore because he's too good. This year he didn't get any kind of Cy Young or MVP votes this year, but last year he got some. In 2020 he got some. He's been really good. Basically his entire career. So I just think he deserves to be number 2. Even though because his number one guy has been ridiculous.
Number one, I think needs no introduction. I think it's the same guy for the
Yeah,
both of us. It's Emmanuel Clase, all right?
yeah. I mean, come on.
This year was like he was playing a video game. It's a .61 ERA, 47 saves, and 74 in the third innings, 74 games pitched, .66 WHIP, 66 Ks, 8 strikeouts per 9. He allowed 2 home runs all season. He gave up 5 runs total all season. I know he kind of blew up in the postseason, but this is an arm it's an all-time, you know, season. This was all-time numbers from a closer, and it's not even close. Felt like he was on a different planet.
For sure. I mean, as good as the season was, when you were making this list, did you hesitate a little bit when putting it number one? Just thinking about that ALCS and what happened in the playoffs. 'Cause the playoffs is really, really where it matters. But, did you kind of think, well, maybe is there another guy that could be number one?
Uh, Not really. I mean, I think Bautista's a number one caliber, but he was hurt, so
It's definitely watching that it was kind of like, okay, what happened
yeah, it
in
was
the
a meltdown.
playoffs?
It was ugly, but
It's not what you expected.
no.
Yeah, like you said, the 5 earned runs all year is ridiculous. I don't know how that's possible. It's basically like people got lucky and they got a run. So this it's like you said, due to game numbers from Class A.
For sure. I mean, it felt like I felt like teams got more runs off him in the postseason than the regular season.
That might be true.
It's,
Uh,
whatever it was, it's an absolute joke. He made it look easy with the stuff. I mean, he had this splitter, cutter. I forget what he's got. He's got a fastball. I mean, it's crazy, crazy stuff. But that'll be it for this episode. I mean, the reliever list, I will say, it could look a lot different in 2026.
Feels like it always is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a volatile position. We covered all the
So
pitching, so we got DHs and then top 10, just overall.
all right, and then actually I'm looking at it now. Postseason pitching. He actually in the ALCS and ALDS combined, he had 8 earned runs.
Yeah,
So
I
he
mean, that's
did
crazy.
have more earned runs in the postseason than he did the regular season.
Wow, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
All time
Um,
season. So, that's a wrap. Any last thoughts before we head out?
no, I mean, should be fun next week doing that top 10. That'll interesting. See what we put there. Definitely should tune in for that.
Yeah, top 10 overall will be stacked. I have no doubt. And then we'll do DHs as well. So, hitters. We're talking hitters. We were just talking pitchers. All these guys do is hit. So, that should be fun from the casual baseball fan who just likes their homers and likes guys who crush it. So, that'll do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Everything is in the description as always, and we'll see you next time.